So, growing up, my mom and I lived with my grandmother until we bought the house next door. Now, in this house, I converted the garage into a living space, and I pretty much lived out there. Um, so check this out. This big start of a box here, that was the garage converted into essentially an apartment. Right above it, right here, this is a staircase. There's a breezeway and staircase. So you come out of the room, through the breezeway, and up the stairs into the kitchen of the house. Then this is the living room. So stay with me. One night, I can't sleep. Um, I'm well, it was a shitty day, but I can't sleep. And I heard my door creak open, and I um, turned over and saw my mom uh, walking uh, through the garage, through my room, and she walks over to my bed where I'm sleeping, starts talking a mile a minute, and I'm like, slow down. And she starts talking in broken Italian. Um, and I could not understand a word of what she was saying. And um, it's like, shut up. I can't understand you. You're not making any sense. And she just keeps going and going and going. It's like really animated. And I'm so frustrated because, you know, I'm laying there, can't sleep, which is probably a good thing because I had a bunch of candles lit. Um, and like I said, can't understand a word she's saying. There's some little bits of English, but mostly like broken Italian. Um, and so I get so frustrated. You know, I take the pillow and put the pillow over my head and like, get out, you know, muffled into the pillow. And then finally, like, my breaking point, I take the pillow off my head and I throw it at her. But it doesn't hit her, it just hits the wall where she was standing. And she's not standing there. Um, where the hell did she go? How did she just ninja her way out of my room in half a second? Um, so I'm confused as hell. And I get up and walk out of my room into the breezeway and up the stairs into the house. I go to I need coffee because I always need coffee. And that's not why I can't sleep. But anyway, so walk over to the coffee pot and find my mom standing there. And she's like, you know, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I got a story to tell you. It's crazy. She's like, I had the craziest dream. It's like, is that what all that was about? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, go ahead, tell me your dream. So she tells me that she was sleeping in the living room and she was dreaming about her grandmother. You know, dreaming that she was speaking just like broken Italian English, and it seemed so real. And you know, she couldn't understand her. But then she says that, and this is the funny part. So my mom is here. She's sleeping here, and she said that, she sees her grandmother walk into the kitchen. So my mom gets up and she says, following her in this dream she had, um, she says, it was the funniest thing. I saw her walk to the end of the kitchen and then down the stairs towards your room. I'm like, yeah? When was that? She's like, I was like 15 minutes ago. She's like, what'd you want to tell me? It's like, well, Mom, I've got a story for you. um, so that blew my mind. What are the odds? Now, what is kind of funny is the house that my mother and I bought was next door to my grandmother's where I grew up. I went over and I told my grandmother about this. So it's her mother, and my grandma. Jesus, in true Josephine fashion. It's like her response was, "What the hell's she coming over to your house for?" She couldn't, she couldn't walk the extra feet. She couldn't, she couldn't come over to mine. I'm like, yes, Grandma. Clearly, this is about you, and you should be frustrated. She was an interesting character. God rest her soul. But incidentally, after spending a decade with my grandmother, it's her line that all the weird all the weird crap comes from. I mean, she used to come out into the kitchen in the morning, and she would talk about ghosts showing up, family members, things like that. But the way she talked about it was like, oh, you know who was here last night? This person or this person. Do you know what time they showed up? Oh. And it was like she'd be really put off at just how inconsiderate. It was all so nonchalant, which is, I guess absurdity is the ecstasy of intellectualism, but it was exactly that. It was absurd. My Pisces grandmother was definitely connected to spirits, and it didn't matter who they were or how dead they were. She was not going to treat them any differently than she treated the living. But so crazy, though, that first experience. I noticed that my mom had looked different when she was in my room. But it was, I had candles going. It was by candlelight. So I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was just the light playing tricks. After that, my mom pulled out some photographs. When she showed me a picture of my great grandmother, that blew my mind. I could see how I could confuse them. It was pretty wild. So that was the first of many experiences.